this week on Carolina All Out.
Got him trees now. We get ready to go in there and see what it looks like. Well, that was good. Everything worked out fine.
We're headed into one of the wettest places the Temples have on all their properties. Swamp bears with good friends.
This is Carolina All Out.
If you ask me where my favorite place to hunt is in North Carolina, I'm probably going to think about it for a few seconds and tell you most definitely northeastern North Carolina, and more specifically with the Temple family. I suppose it's because of all the successful hunts we've had over the years. We've killed bears, deer, turkeys, and ducks on their property, but it's even more about the good times with friends and the tradition of hunting that surrounds this special area. We brought you along on many of the pursuits here as we love sharing this special place with our viewers. And on this trip, I get to share camp with my good friend and neighbor, Scott Thomas. Scott's been recovering from a battle with cancer. In fact, this is his third time he's beat it. Scott's tough as nails, and through all this has had an optimistic outlook on life that's inspired all of us around him to never give up. Wade and Doug graciously extended an invitation to Scott to come down and bear hunt with them, so we've loaded up and headed east. Doug's little buddy Ethan is up to bat on this next hunt. And Wade is starting off the hunt, just like always, at the kennel.
It's cold this morning. It's 26 degrees. Hopefully we'll find something moving. The bears, they seem to slow down this time of the year when it gets this cold. But we're getting to the end of the season. I got 3 dogs in there. Two of them got stitches in them, and one of them got hit in the side. So we're kind of getting down to the last of the season. Some of the dogs have been going at it pretty hard, and some of them need a break. But we got 2 puppies that we're going to start hunting today that haven't been. I carried them one time, so hopefully they'll get a chance to learn what it's a little bit about. Getting down to the end of the season, it's been hard on everybody, I guess. We did have a bear show up last night, so we're going to pull up here and see if we can figure out which direction he went. We'll turn a couple dogs out, and once they show us the direction that he went, we'll send the rest of them. We'll give these puppies a chance to get out and stretch their legs a little bit.
Bear had been here last night. We turned the dogs loose, and they've struck now and going on. Hopefully they'll jump him pretty soon, and hopefully they'll run him up a tree, and Ethan will be able to get him a shot today, get him a bear. He's killed 2 so far. He killed one last year. How big was the one last year?
Like 380 something pounds.
380 pounds last year, and he killed one the year before, so this will be his 3rd bear.
So is he carrying on the family tradition, huh?
Yeah. Got him trees now. We get ready to go in there and see what it looks like.
Carolina All Out is brought to you by Agri-Supply. It's what's inside. Carolina Cooker, tools, cooks, legends. The North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission, conserving wildlife since 1947. And by the North Carolina Marine and Estuary Foundation, pursuing world-class fisheries and thriving coastal economies. We'll be back with more Carolina All Out.
I got him trees now. We get ready to go in there, see what it looks like. We're gonna get all the dogs like this side, we're gonna shoot for that side. Then if the bear comes down crippled up and goes running that way, we'll have a chance to shoot him and won't anybody dogs been in the way if it comes out alive. Let's go there and see where we can get a good shot at. Well, that was good. Everything worked out fine.
Well, Ethan, congratulations. Had good shooting there. Mr. Doug, this is, what number bear might this be?
This is his third bear. He killed one last year, I think it was 382, I think.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was the biggest one. The other one about 200. This one feel like maybe 250 maybe.
Yeah, good looking bears, good looking, gonna be some fine meat. But it's so great to see the young boys getting into it there, and you've got a crop of new bear hunters coming on, it looks like, every time I come here.
Yeah, we try to get the young ones and kind of get into it, and we enjoy that much as we do anything.
That's right. Well, we are very pleased and very honored to be a part of what goes on here, this bear hunting thing here in North Carolina. Big bears. Ethan, congratulations again, keeping them hands warm. I guess we'll get him out and see if there might be another one to run, huh?
Yep, we'll look.
Even a bear that small would be difficult to get out, but the way the system's set up now that Doug and him have, it makes it a lot easier to get these bears out of here, and just with a lot less manpower, I can tell you that. But dead weight of a bear is very difficult to pick up. There's no good place to grab them, so this is I like this, I can tell you, because I've helped drag a few of the big ones out, and it was not fun. Not fun at all. Well, I'm gonna get on down there toward that way and see.
Back in the day, getting a bear out of the thick swamps of eastern North Carolina was practically an all-day affair. There aren't any handles to grab onto like a deer, and a bear can weigh 4 times as much with no real place to grab on. There's always a lot of folks to help, but getting a bear out is still not easy. I've been fascinated with the system that this crew has come up with. It includes a small 2-stroke portable winch and a skidding cone that's used for logging. Makes sense since the Temples are loggers by trade. It's a slow process, but I think anyone who's helped drag a bear out of the woods would agree that it's the best option. More Carolina bear hunting action when we come back. The Fishbone Facts, brought to you by the North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission. To combat chronic wasting disease, the CWD carcass transportation regulations limit which deer carcass parts can be moved out of surveillance areas. Which of these can be moved by hunters? A. Whole deer heads. B. Whole deer carcasses. C. Quarters with bones inside. Or D. Deboned meat. Find out the answer after the break. Carolina All Out is brought to you by Farms and Land Realty. Selling land is what we do. Bear Creek Arsenal, performance through innovation. D&H RV and Marine, camp all year long. And by the Dixie Deer Classic, the South's premier sportsman's event. We'll be back with more Carolina All Out. To combat chronic wasting disease, the CWD carcass transportation regulations limit which deer carcass parts can be moved out of surveillance areas. Which of these can be moved by hunters? The correct answer is D, deboned meat. The removal of whole deer carcasses from surveillance areas is prohibited, but there are some exceptions to the rules for certain low-risk parts like deboned meat. To learn more about CWD and how it's impacting North Carolina's deer herds, scan the QR code.
Okay, I'm going to do a little illustration for everyone here. So many people watching the show know about Eastern North Carolina and the habitat that is here in Eastern North Carolina. Right now we're up in the northeastern part of North Carolina around Elizabeth City. We're here hunting with the Temples, and you see us wearing this type of gear all the time. This is for many people who know this, but I'm just going to tell the people who don't know this is a briar shedding type of material. This is a Dan's brand wear, and it's head to toe. And so I'm going to show you guys the habitat that they're in and how difficult it is here. And this is not just vines. This is thick briars, things that'll poke you. So we'll walk right over here, and you can see this here. Now, if I try to just walk through it, there's no way. So most time we're trying to back in to it, trying to get the vines off our feet. And now I'm trying to make a hole here. I'm getting stuck by briars. And now there's about 4 feet of this all the way through that I'm gonna have to fight. If there's a bear on the other side that's being treed or bayed, it's gonna be hard. I'm gonna have a gun with me and that sort of thing, but I don't think I'm gonna try it right this minute because there's no bear on the other side. But I hope you can see how difficult it is. When we say thick, we mean thick.
It's the second bear season in North Carolina, and with the blessings of the Temples, I've been able to invite my neighbor and good friend Scott Thomas on a once-in-a-lifetime hunt.
We just loaded up the hounds over here on Doug's side. Got some beautiful bear hounds here. I haven't seen all these yet. So we got to get to know these dogs after a while, get to know their names and their dispositions. Each dog is different, and that's the beauty of hound hunting, you know. You got these different ones, they've got different bloodlines, they've got different abilities, some cold track, some hot track, some are more of a tree dog. And so Doug and him work with them non-stop, year-round, raising and breeding these dogs to get them to what they want. So it's typical of what we see every morning, getting ready to go deer hunting or bear hunting or rabbit hunting or whatever with hounds. It's hound hunting.
Cold, ain't walking like they were earlier in the year, but there's been a bear here last night. The dogs are struck and they going toward the river. And the dogs, I think, would turn loose on the other side. They trail back out going toward the park. We're hunting up next to the Dismal Swamp National Wildlife Refuge, so it's kind of hit and miss. If they go there, we got to catch them so they won't get into the refuge. Some places they won't even let us go in there and catch a dog, so we try not to let them get crossed into the refuge. Dogs have got after a bear and they're turning back south, which is good for us. They ain't going north toward the refuge, so we're in pretty good shape. I think we'll get one.
We're headed into one of the wettest places the Temples have on all their properties. Wouldn't you know it? My buddy Scott's gonna get an experience, real experience in bear hunting. Times past, they've actually had to take boats up the river to to retrieve the bears because that's how wet it is. And just trying to get a bear out of these things is really tough. So putting him on a boat and floating him out sometimes is a better option. Their worst fears, they are across the river here. So we are gonna get into it here shortly to get to this bear that's over there. So it's part of bear hunting. It ain't all fun and games. All right, so Scott's going in. Yep, that is water going in my clothes, in my boots. Ooh, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Josh a little shorter than us. So Josh, see, he powered on through it. That's the way to do it there. All right, we made it across. That is water all the way up to there. I'm soaked right now. Good smelling river water. Man needs waders in here, but we didn't prepare that well.
Carolina All Out is brought to you by D&Z Products, Catch Outdoors, Icon Coolers, Cash and Rods, Hunterbuilt Customs, CWW Inshore Charters, Creek Boats, and by these fine sponsors.
Welcome to Appetite for the Outdoors. I'm Chef Paul Rhodes and we're cooking with Carolina Cooker. Today we're using the 14-quart stew pot and burner. We are making a bear stew in this thing today. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna start off with adding in a little bit of oil. All right, so we have our oil heating up. We're gonna go ahead and add in our bear meat. All right, so we're seasoning the bear meat with the Carolina Cooker seafood boil. You're gonna wanna go ahead and add your onions and your carrots. Mix those up with the bear meat. After you let your onions and carrots saute for a little bit, you're gonna wanna go ahead and add in the rest of your ingredients. We're gonna start with the garlic, and we're gonna go ahead and do our green peppers, throw in our corn, and hit it with some herbs. We're gonna add in our russet potatoes. Then we're gonna go ahead and add our green beans, and then we've got 4 cups beef stock here. So the nice thing about this is that once you get all your ingredients in, the bear meat's seared, it's seasoned, you can go ahead and add the lid on it and we'll let it cook for about 35 to 45 minutes, just until that bear meat gets nice and tender, and then it's good to serve. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and put this lid on it. We're gonna let it just kind of do its thing, and we'll be back here and show you what it looks like when it's all said and done. One thing that we want to remember is that a successful harvest is great, but the best thing is when you put it on the table for your friends and family and are able to enjoy the fruits of your labor.
It's the second bear season in North Carolina, and with the blessings of the Temples, I've been able to invite my neighbor and good friend Scott Thomas on a once-in-a-lifetime hunt. Bear hunting with hounds ain't easy, especially when there's a swamp involved. And that's pretty much a large percentage of the land that the Temples hunt. But the property we're hunting this morning is probably the swampiest and wettest, with a river running right through the middle of it.
Kind of sticking his head out, but I don't know. So, we finally made it in here, and we're trying to find the right angle on this bear. And Scott's got a pretty decent angle, so we're gonna probably take it from here, but we got it's always this chaos that we have with the dogs and everybody trying to communicate together, but this is exactly the way it works every time there. So the boys are going to try to make sure that the puppies are up and out of the way, because when this bear falls, he's falling from a long, long ways down. So we're going to figure out this thing in just a minute.
All right, ready?
Hey, Scott, it's so thick in here.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, I am so tickled for you. It was a great shot.
Yeah. It was awesome.
The old 450 worked him over, didn't
Yes, it did. Took him straight to the ground, dead fall.
That's a long shot up there. I mean, they don't usually get that high. But.
Yeah, that joker was getting on up a tree now.
Well, you endured a little bit to get to it, but you did good.
Yeah. I'm not so cold now as I was.
I know it.
When I first went in the water over there.
Oh, yeah, that was something else.
But that's part of it.
That's right.
Running these swamps, running these bears, these dogs. Big part of it.
Scott's been through a whole lot this past year, and we're so excited for him to be able to take this bear. Man, it was just, I'm telling you, I got choked up over there. I was just like, wow. Well, all that has come to this point.
Oh, yeah.
It's been great. But Scott's tough as nails. He's just should have been born back before World War II. He'd have done just fine back then. Tough guy. Scott, I don't think you'd have found a finer place to shoot a bear.
No, it's lovely in here.
Yeah, it's lovely, ain't it?
Yeah.
Oh, we have been traipsing through the swamp here with the temples to get to this bear, and he's about a half a mile back in the swamp here, and we actually had to ford the river to get here to him. So it's been an adventure, to say the least.
Yep.
But Scott made a great shot on him. That the Bear Creek Arsenal 450 Bushmaster eat.
Yep.
And it did a fantastic job. Bear came right out of the tree. One shot kill. And now we're gonna have lots of bear meat to work with.
That's right.
Exactly right. We were talking to Brent earlier about making soap with the fat and possibly some lard, so that might be something we get into. I don't know, we'll see, but this is some of the best eating bears in the woods, these not so giant ones. But really all of them are good, we like them all. Well, I'll tell you what, we've got a lot of work ahead of us once they get in here with the rope to start pulling this bear out. But until they get here, I'm Chris Douglas signing off for Carolina All Out with my buddy Scott Thomas. Remember, our state is your next adventure.
Awesome.
Daisy.